Okay, guys, sorry about that. Had a bit of a hiccup here. Had to reconnect. Of course, trying, excuse me, trying to test out my, uh, test out my new Twitch stream, which you can find at BW Roses. Same here, but you can find it over there on Twitch if you want to go there and everything. That's up to you. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here, as the title says, and whoa, I'm not going to go public just yet on Facebook here because my sister is online and I don't need her saying anything, you know what I'm saying? um, well, it looks like she's online. I don't know if she's off today or she's on break or what, so we're just not going to take any chances, okay? you know. But yeah, the thing says it best there. Just here to chill and discuss a few things, and some of the things. Whoa, got to be careful with a bit of water here. Just spill on my shorts, on my jeans, my shorts, if you will. But yeah, I had a bit of an issue with this. Apparently, you gotta always, I guess, turn off OBS Studio before going back and using it for another. Um, I guess you could say, how do I put it? Stream on another platform, if you will. Anyway, yeah. And hello to Ryan Jr. Ryan. Thank you for joining us in the live chat. Unfortunately, I can't monetize, but that's why BW Roses on Twitch is another place to go. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can go over there without any issues. Hopefully, without any issues. Hold on, and see. Yeah, here's my video right here. I'm gonna copy and link it. I'll copy the link address so you guys can see it for yourselves here. And yeah, this is basically the test stream I did. You guys can check that out if you want. And apparently, it looks like they're catching up with themselves in some areas. um, that being, of course, the basically the whatever they are. Hold on for a sec. Okay, just making sure I'm connected. But yeah, like I said, just wanted to come on here and do this for you guys. As a matter of fact, I'm also gonna edit and put in the link to the stream as well in the description, so you guys can have that. Um, but yeah, yeah, I just wanted to chill and discuss. It's just it's not a topics on my mind deal. Just just talk about stuff and everything. That's why you don't see a camera on there or anything, or don't see me on camera. But yeah, just wanted to talk about a few things here as I turn off the thing there. Make sure the volume's off. But just wanted to talk about a few things. First of all, first of all, going back to things I've talked about recently, like with the whole chat AI deal. Um, the chat AI deal is not ideal, but the chat AI situation is, in my opinion, a very unique one in the eyes of a lot of folks because you have people that as I've mentioned before, are okay with it. They're fine with it. You know, some are not good, not some are not cool with it. Some are not fine with it and stuff. And it's just one of those situations to where it's up to you. It's up to your own little decisions. And everything of how you feel about it. Honestly, I mean, I'll be honest. Again, I don't have a real issue per se. I don't have a real issue per se. You know, and how people feel about it overall. I don't have a real issue per se and all that. I just find it unique and everything because all you have to do is um, you know all you have to do is like come up with a you know with some kind of like little idea for, let's say, a story, and you you can get basically um, as I try to copy this here for a second. For, come on, here we go, got it. Trying to copy the hashtags here. It's a little harder than it should be. Um, oh yeah, I didn't want to do that. Hold on. Wanted to share with you guys. Okay, hold on. Where's the share button on this one? Okay. Just trying to put this on Twitter so you guys can check it out if you want. Um, but what was I? Oh yeah. The chat AI basically that's one to people like you know it's up to them how they feel about it. I mean, again, I have no I have no issue in the matter. To be honest with you, I don't really have an issue. I think honestly, like I said, one of the creative things about it, in my opinion, one of the more creative things about the chat AI is, as I mentioned, you can basically, put oh, I just messed up here. Hold on. Don't want to do that. Let's put that away. Um, but you could basically, from what I understand, you could basically, well, not understand, but from what I've seen and experienced myself, is you can come up with little ideas here and there, even descriptive ideas as best you can, and say, hey, write a scene, write a story, do a scene, and excuse me, most of the time, it will do said scene. It will do it. It'll actually do said scene in a way that you kind of envision, maybe you don't envision, stuff like that. It will do a scene. It will actually do it. And sometimes it can be repetitive, like with the Google's Bard. They could it could be it could basically be more, I guess you could say, story based, because because I could put something in there like, say, telling them, hey, do this, and everything. Excuse me, write a story on this, da da da, and it will do it. But then instead of just being what I want, it'll go into details like, okay, here's what happens later. So it's, as I've said before, it Google's Bard, Chat AI, Chat GPT by Open AI. They're still learning. They're still in infancy. Same with Bing's Chat AI. Same with Right Sonic's AI. Same with what else? I think that's about it. Bing, Right Sonic, them. They still are learning. These things are still learning. The Chat GPTs. And as I've mentioned before, I get why people could be against them. Mostly, especially if you're, people that work in, Hollywood, or you work, as a writer or whatever. You don't like the idea of, hey, this machine could, potentially take my job. And and that's understandable to understand. You don't want something to, replace you that doesn't have a soul. Doesn't have the emotion and the soul that you would have. So I get what they're talking about. I get where they're coming from and everything. And I think that's why over time these systems, as people upgrade them and update them and do this to them and do that to them, they're going to get them to a point to where basically you won't have to worry about being replaced because it'll understand. Okay, you want me to do an outline? Not a problem. Here's an outline, and then that's it. But most of the other time, excuse me, most of the other time, I could see it being something that you could use for fun. Just come up with a little silly scenario for a character and be like, okay, do it, see what happens. And you'd be surprised. You'd be honestly surprised. So, again, to me, as I've mentioned before, it's still in its beginning stages. It's still trying to get its feet wet. It's still in its infancy, and it's still got a lot to learn. No matter whether it's Right Sonic, no matter whether it's Bing's Chat AI, Chat GPT, Google's Bard, or whatever, it's still got a lot to learn. And over time, it's going to learn, hopefully for the better. So that way it's not like you're kind of getting confused and everything. It'll be like, let's say you want it to regenerate, another take on your story. It won't repeat what it did previously. It'll be totally different. So I say just chill. I'd say with just, I say honestly, just chill and be patient with with the chat AIs, because they'll come in handy a lot, a lot. They will come in handy a lot more than you think in the near future. Now, as far as something else that I'm sure a lot of people talk about, and that excuse me, and that is the the May themes that we get. When it comes to the month of May. I mean, Brian Zane, he's doing his Hulkamania, Hulkamania series all the month on Wrestling with Regret. But then you have things like the mermaid themes, where characters that are not mermaids get drawn or storytelled into mermaids. And then you have, obviously, as you can see by the screen, the melting May. But again, people wonder why that's one of the more popular, if not the most popular theme. And I think it's because mainly the fact that, it's the only time for a lot of folks to write a story where characters, OC characters or established AI character, not AI but IP characters, OC characters, original characters, or established IP characters can get drawn or written into a situation where they just melt into a puddle of goop and enjoy it. And it doesn't just have to be like, oh, the melting, that's it, done, right? That's not usually the case. Sometimes you can get a story out of it. And there's a story I did a review on, and I got to upload the audio to my computer, or at least email the audio to the computer, so I can do the audio video review of it, of Melting Me Part 12. But that started out basically looking like it was going to be more, oh, it's just the girls melting into puddles of goop and all that. But instead, it's now got a story, or at least it's got some kind of a subplot behind it, to where things are a little bit more interesting. They're a little bit more interesting, but over time, it'll get back to what brought it to the dance, because after it takes care of the subplot. But it's kind of in that vein where it's just a once a year kind of deal, to really just let loose with your characters, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. So Melting May, it's been around for quite some time, obviously, and it's just really, in my opinion, gradually picking up steam. And I'm not going to be surprised if in the near future you have Hollywood come calling, you have all these other places come calling and start noticing that, this melting theme when it comes to the month of May is actually kind of popular. Let's run with that. Let's work with that. So I could see something like that happening just by the fact that it is a very popular theme. It really is. you know, and obviously Hollywood, obviously a lot of places, studios, they know about the themes that the month of May get. I mean, Mermaid, is one of the themes. Isn't it ironic we're getting Little Mermaid? You know, so it's one of those situations to where when when you look at it, as I've mentioned before, it's just it's just for fun. It's just for fun and everything and all that. So it's it's just for fun. Not to be taken seriously and all that. As my computer is kind of loading right now. I don't know why it likes to load once in a while. The computer. I mean, I understand it's got some stuff it's got to load up for potential updates in the future of virus scans, but it's like it's like seriously, why can't you just say you're going to do that and then tell people don't use the computer for a while until it does this? It makes more sense if they would do something like that, if you know what I mean. You know, it would make more sense. So, but yeah, getting back to the melting May thing, it's just for fun. It's not to be really taken seriously. It's just it's just for fun and all that. And I think that's all that really matters sometimes is just have a little bit of fun. Don't be so serious about stuff. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. So anyway, let me check something here, guys. It's just making sure of the time. Just making sure of the time and all that. But yeah, it's just for fun. Just for fun. Um, what else? Oh yeah, of course I did a reply yesterday to Saberspark's video, and look, I still stick by what I said there. I think honestly, what the whole plan was the whole time for Universal when it came to doing the two Balto sequels, it wasn't oh we just want to capitalize on the success of the home video release, just like we did with Land Before Time and American Tail. No, they did it because just like with Land Before Time, they wanted to get an animated series out of it. In my opinion, American Tail already got one, immediate, already got one basically right off, right off the bat after 50 Goes West. You know, it got one on CBS Saturday mornings. So they couldn't try to use the American Tail sequels to do that. They couldn't. They couldn't. Yeah, yeah, my computer's loading something. Always getting that little blue circle sometimes near the arrow of the mouse, or the mouse's arrow on the screen, telling me and indicating to me, yeah, it's loading. It was loading something. But anyway, like I said, they Universal couldn't do that with the American Tail sequels because, they already had a series that came out before, so they couldn't make that happen, or else they would unless they would do a prequel series, that could have happened, but they didn't do it because they already had an animated series. And honestly, I think that's what they wanted to do with Balto. They wanted to go the same route they did with Land Before Time, put out a couple of movies, then do a series. But obviously, the sequels didn't succeed, the way they would hope, and thus a series was pretty much canceled, in my opinion. You know, that it was pretty much canceled, in my opinion. Any plans to do it, even if they had it in like pre-production or production. I think as soon as they realized, yeah, that we're not getting money back from these sequels, they decided to just, cut the losses and not do the sequels. But yeah, in my opinion, that's why they were doing the Balto movies, not just because the release of the home movie was, um, you know, or not home movie, but release of the theatrical film on home video, was a success. But they were doing it because they saw potentially opportunity to expand on the universe even more so, the Baltoverse, if you will, by doing the movies and then doing a series. And like I said, I think if they would have done the series, they probably would have brought back a Lou, Balto's daughter, and focused more on her and Cody, along with Balto and Jenna, being involved as well, along with the other characters. And I think Alu would have, had a mastery of these new powers. She would have developed as, chiefess of the pack or the head of the pack, I wouldn't be surprised if they did an episode, or at least began an episode, where she's playing a little game with her brother by blending in and becoming one with the environment. So I wouldn't be surprised by that. But again, fortunately, that didn't happen because the movies did the sequels. The first and third movie, didn't do so well. They didn't do so well. I mean, if they would have just, I'll put it this way: if they would have just left those two sequels out of the equation and decided, hey, let's try doing an animated series, then maybe it would have been a different story. Because then you could tell similar stories in miniseries like episodes, and that would have kept people's attention, for quite some time, in my opinion. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But yeah, I do agree with Sable Spark. The two movies were not necessary. I mean, I did see Wolf Crest when it came out, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay, but yeah, I can definitely agree that they shouldn't have. Looking back on it, they shouldn't have done those sequels when they did. They should have just done the movie. They should have just done the movie, and then if they wanted to do an animated series, that would have been a different story. But they decided, okay, we're going to go the direction we did with our Land Before Time series, and try to do a few movies and then do a series. But unfortunately, it didn't find the same footing as Land Before Time did, and that's a series, in my opinion. Any plans for that went out the window. You know, any plans for that went out the window. Um, so yeah, if I'm Universal, I would have just left well enough alone. And if I wanted to do a series, I would have just done it anyway, sequels or not. So that's just my opinion. But again, I could see where Sable Spark's coming from, and I do have to give credit to Sable Spark for doing that long video. I mean, I've done long videos before myself, but for him to do one, probably the longest he's ever done on this channel, and then having to go through what he did with Universal blocking it, or well, not necessarily blocking it, but not allowing him to monetize off it. Got to give him a round of applause there for going through that. I really do. Um, what else as well? Oh yeah, one of the other pictures shows you the Satyam Doomsday Project movie I edited together, basically the final four episodes of Sonic Satyam. I took that down originally because I'm trying to monetize my channel again. Obviously, that didn't work, so I put it back up. So if you guys want to check it out, it is there. And obviously, I'm not the only one that's doing that, because I think anybody that looks at those final four episodes and how they intertwine with each other would make the same argument that if they would just be pieced together in a certain way, that they could come off as a movie. There's no I don't think there's no denying that, whatsoever. So yeah, if you guys want to see that, it's back on the channel, back up on the channel. If you want to watch it, it'd be greatly appreciative if you did. And really, I think that's all I can really say on here with this chill and discuss little live stream. Oh yeah, one other thing too, as I, as I drink some water. One other thing too. Um, you, know, you I don't know if this happened with you guys, but I've been working for about a year and a half, right? And I hadn't really used my unemployment for quite some time, because back in, what was it, September, October of 2020, they kind of, I don't know if it was that time or, no, it wasn't 20, no, it was 2021. That's what it was. It was towards the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, where they kind of cut me off because they said I've pretty much done all I could, with financially. Um, but what was interesting is, around that time, that of course that's when around the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, that's when I started to, get back on my footing employment rise. I was starting to get back on my feet employment rise with Walmart, not Walmart, but with Target. And so I didn't have no need for a while for unemployment, even if I still had the card. But, you know, silly me that when I reapplied for unemployment, I would completely forget that after everything went through correctly, all the boxes were checked off, if you will, on both ends of the spectrum. Silly me would forget that it's not your actual bank card that you have to, or your actual bank you have to check. It's your EDD card you have to check that has the money in there that you need. And I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that I needed to check, the EDD, the EDD card, website to see, if I had the money in there, because I became, because of the fact that I became so accustomed to using my bank card, and that was it. Little did I know that I had to go back to using the EDD card, or using the EDD website, EDD card website, bank card website, to pretty much figure out, oh, this is where I have my money at. So yeah, I had to, kind of, teach myself again, or remind myself, because I looked on the EDD and it said I got paid, and I'm thinking, how am I paid? I don't see nothing. And then something just told me, and I think, well, it wasn't just something, it was God telling me, go to the Visa, where you used to go, and check there, and lo and behold, the money was there. So I ended up transferring it to my actual bank, which should allow it to go in there by at least, this week. Tomorrow, today at the earliest, tomorrow at the latest, if not Friday at the latest. But yeah, silly me for not realizing that, oh yeah, the EDD card, is the way to go, if you catch my drift. But yeah, but yeah, fortunately, I'm gonna have some money now. Thank God, in that perspective, as especially as I go, as I head towards this weekend, because I'm going to be going with my brother-in-laws and my nephew and my oldest nephew and some of my other nephews, um, for my oldest nephew's bachelor party, if you will, or guys, yeah, bachelor party, guys, day out, day in, whatever, at Red Hawk Casino, which is being hosted by my oldest nephew's future father-in-law. So yeah, yeah, go figure, if you will, go figure. But yeah, good timing and everything, and of course, and of course I say that because I'll have money for Saturday, and then I'll have to reapply on, I have to, certify again on Sunday, and then by Monday, hopefully, things will work out that way as well. But yeah, that's something that happened. I don't know if it's ever happened to you guys, but it happened to me. But anyway, though, I just wanted to, like I said, come on here and do this little chill and discuss live stream. Kind of get some content out there to you guys as best I can while I have the opportunity. I'll also let you guys know I'm working on my DCWA CAW Career Wrestling League as we speak. I've already got a couple of new champions crowned, as you've probably seen here on my YouTube channel. So yeah, we're still working on rebuilding it and everything, and getting ready for the first CPV event. Hopefully very soon. Just don't know when, but I will let you know that information when it comes down to it. Also, check out my BW Roses Discussions podcast, audio podcast. It's at Spotify, at Spotify's Anchor, if you will. And you'll get audio versions of some of the videos you see here, there, to listen to on the go whenever you want to. And you might even get an audio version of this, as soon as the opportunity presents itself. But yeah, like I said, just wanted to do this, guys. Just provide you with a little bit of content, do a little bit of a stream as well. Kind of chill and discuss about some things. Also, guys, before I go, check out, like I said, the link is in the live chat as well as in the description. Check out my twitch.tv channel and the videos I did there. I think you will enjoy them, and please help me in that area as well if you can. But anyway, though, guys, that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you all for listening, taking this time to just chill and discuss things with me. And till next time.